Cook yesterday provoked a rather contradictory set of responses. All the tributes assumed that Cook was instantly recognisable and widely loved. All noted his huge influence on British comedy over the last 30 years. Yet virtually all adopted the somewhat lugubrious tones of Cook's downbeat Dud and Pete character. Expressions of regret at lost opportunities and dark hints about a flawed private life vied with the expressions of admiration. Stephen Fry, one of a new generation of humorists for whom Cook was a key influence, was dismayed by this emphasis on his downside. Here is Stephen Fry to put the record straight.
There's a phrase in use these days as obligatory in reporting as the Tour de France's coveted yellow jersey or the Prime Minister's prefix, the increasingly beleaguered. When notable people die, tributes flow in from the world of letters or the world of sport or the world of comedy. Well, tributes have been flowing in all right this past 36 hours for Peter Cook. Tributes that rightly talk of the unimaginable influence of this extraordinary man on the development of British cultural life. I loved him. For the first part of my life, I loved him as I listened to record after record of his voice and wriggled with bliss at his comic genius. And for the second part of my life, I loved him as a friend, too. Not having him about is dreadful. Being British in this part of the century meant living in the country that had Peter Cook in it. There are wits and there are clowns in comedy, I suppose. Peter was a wit, it goes without saying, but he was funny in an almost supernatural way that has never been matched by anyone I've ever met or even heard about. It wasn't to do with facial expression or epigrammatic wit or cattiness or rant or anger or technique. He had funniness in the same way that beautiful people have beauty or dancers have line and grace. He had an ability to make people gasp and gasp and gasp for breath like landed fish. He was not an ambitious man, not concerned with being a star. His ego was not great. He was without worldly vanity. I suppose if one thing upset him more than anything else, it was the idea that people somewhere might in some way feel sorry for him. Why should they? He had his friends, his private eye benevolently to oversee, his television to watch, his newspapers to read, and fun little jobs to do every now and again. I watched in some distress the silly remarks last night on the news. Flawed genius, undeveloped potential. What silly, ignorant nonsense. Flawed? Well, I'd be very happy to hear of a list of unflawed human beings. Unrealized potential, what does that mean? That his potential would have been realized by appearing in more Hollywood films or in having a regular primetime TV show? Why commentators have to write and talk about extraordinary people as if they're composing school reports is beyond me. A fair term's work, but Peter must concentrate more on writing stage plays this year. Whatever you may have heard to the contrary, Peter was a man absolutely untainted by bitterness or remorse. He didn't want a yacht, a house in Cap Ferrat, or knighthood, nor did he want a pool in Beverly Hills complete with a string of therapists and pseudo-religions. His achievements, in worldly terms, are well known. Writing for reviews when still a student, Beyond the Fringe, founding the Establishment Club, the forerunner of today's comedy clubs. Not only, but also Derek and Clive, Private Eye. Life was good to him, and he was good to life. His last years were spent married to the sweet, kind, and gentle woman he leaves behind, Lynn. He was still making new friends of all ages. He never lost a scintilla of his wit or fun or kindness. The only regret to be uttered is on behalf of a Britain that now has no Peter Cook in it. So let's hear no more sententious hogwash about disappointment, frustration, or regret. Such talk may deepen or lengthen the obituaries and the feature pages, but it's a lie. Well, we shouldn't say goodbye on too sad a note, so I'll leave with a story whose victim, Sir David Frost, won't mind it being told because he tells it himself. David Frost rang Peter Cook up some years ago. Peter, I'm having a little dinner party on behalf of Prince Andrew and his new bride-to-be, Sarah Ferguson. I know they'd love to meet you, big fans. It'd be super if you could make it Wednesday the 12th. Oh, hang on, I'll just check my diary. Pause and rummaging and leafing through diary noises. And then Peter said, oh dear, I find I'm watching television that night. Lucky old angels, lucky old heaven.
Stephen Fry on Peter Cook's last step beyond the fringe. That's all from us. Tracy McLeod will be back at the same time tomorrow night. But from me, Good night.
Now is the time to say goodbye. 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 Goodbye.
Get off.
Now is the time to yield a swan.
Yield it.
Now is the time to wander away until we meet again some sunny day.